'Tis the season for some funky and soulful Christmas pieces of vinyl. These are some of the sickest Christmas records that you can get your hands on. Some of these I just got and some I've had or known about for years. So let's get down with these funky Christmas jams. Christmas finale for the channel. I might have one more video coming along for 2022, but if I don't get it out, know that I am truly grateful for each and every person who has taken even 1 minute to watch any of these videos. I truly am humbled by the fact that I just started this channel in April and already so many of you have commented or subscribed or just watched. And so please know that you have unleashed a monster. I have some really big plans for 2023. I have a lot of video ideas and pieces of vinyl to share with you, and I'm so very excited to keep this going, so thank you very much. And with that, my gift back to you is this sick and awesome, amazing list of Christmas vinyl. Now, know that I am not some Christmas fanatic out there. We celebrate Christmas at my home, but I know that not everyone does. However, everyone should love funk and soul music, and that is what this list is really about. There is definitely something here for everybody. I love Christmas vinyl because they always make some awesome color variants, and sometimes you get labels who make special compilations, or you get artists who make some amazing Christmas tunes that become staples for years. Before we get started here, all of these songs can definitely be heard on any of the major streaming services out there. So if you just want to have an awesome holiday playlist to jam to, here you go. And now for the airing of the Grievances.
Tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of Grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're gonna hear about it.
I went back and forth on whether to start this list at 10 and go up or start at number 1, but this list doesn't really have any particular order except for this one. I had to put this one first just in case you tune out of the video early. This is the best, in my opinion, the best holiday. It's my favorite Christmas album. It's the funkiest, it's the most soulful, it's from my favorite label and one of my favorite bands, Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. It's a holiday soul party. This is the Candy Cane Swirl that was released in 2021. It's a repress. They had another original 2021 Candy Cane Swirl that they pressed in 2016 as well. Here is the front cover of the label with hype sticker, and it is the red variation. I love this back cover. This back cover is awesome. Holiday soul party, all the gents' heads here on the menorah. So sick. They have some other variations of this. They have a green translucent that comes with a 45 that I actually just ordered. And the actual original of this is a red translucent. And then they have green covers or red covers depending on the variant you get. But the music, first off, if you don't know about Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, maybe you haven't watched this channel enough, or maybe I haven't mentioned them enough on this channel. They are, or were, the sickest funk and soul group to come along, and in my opinion, ever. I know it's a bold statement, but this album is my favorite holiday album. The version of White Christmas on this is hands down my favorite version of that song just ever written ever. It's one of the only ones that I've ever heard that's like a straight up barn burner. And when can you say that White Christmas is a barn burner? 8 Days of Hanukkah is awesome to have a Hanukkah song in your holiday life, and it's also one of the funkiest songs ever. Plus, I have a 45 version of that. Here's the 45 version of the 8 Days of Hanukkah in this awesome blue. I think it's like a ice blue. This is so sick. There's a little dreidel interlude in here that's so awesome. And it's all like counting down in like a JB style, counting down all the days of Hanukkah. Every tune on this record is amazing. I will eventually own all of the color variants of this. I definitely want to get the original, but you should own this in some form and play this holiday season. You will thank me, definitely. This is one of the sickest records of all time for Christmas. Go get it today. Let's just get this classic out of the way. A Charlie Brown Christmas by the Vince Guaraldi Trio. I've never had a chance to own this, but I saw this version at Target, and it was actually from the Craft recording label, which is usually pretty good, and I thought, what the heck? And I didn't even notice that it mentioned this green translucent with yellow splatter. First off, here's the cover. Let's check out the cover. It's this gold edition, and here's the backside cover. It's very awesome, like gold foil. This splatter has got to be the sickest Christmas splatter that I own. Like, this is beautiful. It is just a beautiful translucent, if you can just see it in the light there, it is just beautiful. And I love this label to it too. Has the original fantasy label. And I was blown away as soon as I opened this. This is another one of those Christmas records where there are just tons of color variations, tons of cover variations out there. I don't know if this one is all analog, but it definitely sounds really, really good. The music here is really special. It's Charlie Brown, some great jazz. If you're looking for a first jazz album, this is definitely a good one to get into and to tread lightly with some jazz with. While we are on the jazz topic, Louis Armstrong, Louis wishes you a cool Yule. Vinyl Me Please, limited edition to 1,000 copies on green translucent vinyl. This is a compilation of Louis Armstrong holiday tracks, and these are fantastic. You even get a narration of a visit from St. Nicholas narrated by Louis Armstrong. This is a treasure. You should own this because Louis Armstrong is important to know about and important for the world, but also because this is some really, really great holiday music. His vocals here are just amazing. They're super warm and they sound amazing. And this vinyl pressing sounds really, really good. Again, I'm pretty sure it's probably not from analog copies, but it is definitely really good. This is also a Vinyl Me Please, as well as the next few that we're going to see here. I started with Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, but we don't get there without Stax and Booker T. And this album is a classic and one of the most soulful and awesome instrumental Christmas jams that you are ever going to hear, all fronted by the master organist Booker T. This is another VMP exclusive on Blue Christmas Galaxy vinyl, limited to 2,000 copies and in mono. This was originally released back in 1966 on Stax and has since become one of the rarest vinyl treasures out there. The mono OG of this goes for well over $100 if you can even find it. There are some alternate covers out there as well, but I like that VMP has kept the original for this repress. Again, this sounds amazing. Great pressing here. I don't know if this is an original. It doesn't say anything about an original lacquer or anything like that, but I definitely know that I wanted this really bad, and I'm super glad that I have it now. You should definitely go get yours too if they're still left at Vinyl Me Please. This next one was a true sleeper for me, along with the next two, really. Vinyl Me Please has a collection of these Christmas records, and I bought almost all of them. This one is amazing. Probably now my number 2 favorite Christmas album next to that Sharon Jones. This has so many awesome funk and soul tracks on it. This is Soul Christmas from Atco Records. We have Otis Redding, Carla Thomas, Clarence Carter, Booker T and the MGs, but my favorite song on this record is William Bell, Every Day Will Be Like a Holiday. This track grooves so hard. We were setting up the Christmas tree and I heard it and I just could not stop getting down with it. This is pressed on 180 gram green translucent vinyl, and these are limited to 2,000 copies, but this is just the Vinyl Me Please version. I mean, there's other versions of this out there. The original came out in 1968, and you can definitely find this on all of the streaming services out there. On Apple Music, it's not as an album, but it's as a playlist. Every track that you hear on here is a soul groover, and Atco Records is a label that I know to look for when I'm looking for records like Stax or Cadet. And speaking of Cadet Records, that is exactly where the next one comes from. So I am a huge fan of Dorothy Ashby. I found out about her a long time ago when I came across a CD called Afro Harping at a flea market in like 2000 or something like that. If you don't know who she is, she's a harpist who plays jazz harp and soul and funk harp, and some of her arrangements are just so good. There are 2 albums from her out there that are extremely hard to get, Afro Harping and The Rubaiyat of Dorothy Ashby. I'm trying to get both of them, but this compilation, The Soulful Strings, The Magic of Christmas, is a label compilation like the last one from Atco Records, but this is from Cadet Records and features Dorothy Ashby, Phil Upchurch, Leonard Dress, and a lot of the featured players from Cadet Records in the 60s. Vinyl Me Please, again, released this one. They also have a box set coming of Cadet Records, the story of Cadet Records. with that Dorothy Ashby Afro harp in it, and I'll probably be getting it just for that. This is 180 gram, limited to 2,000 copies on green vinyl. This one does say AAA Lacquer from the Masters, cut from Barry Grint at Alchemy Mastering at Air. I can say that this definitely sounds amazing. The strings on this are so warm and the harp sounds great. I've never heard this before, and I'm determined to get all our Dorothy Ashby stuff on vinyl. I had from Discogs the Rubaiyat from Dorothy Ashby, but it fell through after I paid for it, and I was very upset about that. Like I said, I'll probably get that box set just for Afro harping, but this one is a true gem. Some off the beaten path tracks on this one, like Snowfall, Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies, and Parade of the Wooden Soldiers, but just like really good soulful jazz arrangements of them, whatever you want to call it. It's just, it grooves so hard. You won't be disappointed. Definitely check out this one, The Soulful Strings, The Magic of Christmas. Okay, let's take a break, stop the video right now. If you're even remotely a fan of jazz or Blue Note or Christmas, go to Amazon right now and get this criminally cheap record, Duke Pearson, Merry Old Soul, for $17.99. Or just wait until after Christmas and it'll probably be like $10 brand new. 180 gram vinyl, cut by Kevin Gray from Original Master Tapes. We all know that Blue Note classic vinyl is hands down the best bargain right now in vinyl. Best sounding, and some of them, like this one, are less than $20. I got this for $15, brand new. Now, the savages at Amazon will try to just bend this in half and put it into your mailbox.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
But if you get a bad one, just send it back to them and get another one. You should definitely own this record. It is so good. The holiday charts are so awesome. But the playing here is so good. The solos are so good. The little drummer boy, Mickey Roker on drums, I've never really heard of him before, but this track sounds so good. This is a later Blue Note modern jazz series from the 4300 collection. This came out in 1969 originally. And again, another jazz scorcher to have for the holidays. This cover is just fantastic as well. And this is another great one if you want to get like your first jazz album, another great first jazz album to get. This one probably should have been at the top of the list. This was my favorite up until the Sharon Jones came out a few years ago. This is James Brown, A Soulful Christmas. And thanks to the vinyl revival community, this is easily accessible to get nowadays. Back when I found out about this in like 2000 or 1999, you could not get this record at all, or even a digital version of it anywhere. At least I couldn't find it anywhere. One of the reasons these were always so hard to find is because they combined all of James Brown's Christmas albums into like these deluxe CDs in the late 90s and early 2000s. So this original came out in 1968. It goes for about $100 on Discogs, but I don't think that those are easily findable. And this is just a repress, I think, from 2014. This is combined with James Brown Christmas songs on CDs. That's how I originally found it. Or I think it's called James Brown and the Famous Flames Sing Christmas Songs or something like that. James Brown and the Famous Flames Sing Christmas Songs, I think is what the title is. It's under both names out there. Definitely check them out on any of the streaming services if you want some awesome, funky, and soulful stuff for your holiday playlists. Next here, we got a couple of Christmas 45s. This one is just super fun to have. This is probably the most jankiest picture I've ever seen of Santa Claus, Jimi Hendrix dressed up as Santa Claus. But this is basically the band that went on to be Band of Gypsies. This was recorded in 1969. By no means a polished, finished copy, but it's just cool to have. This one's on green translucent vinyl. He plays around a little bit on Little Drummer Boy and Silent Night. This is just a really cool treasure to have. This next one here, The Reindeer Runners from Soulfire Records, is actually one of the first 45s I think ever created created by Leon Michaels, who's the owner of the Brooklyn label Big Crown Records and an amazing musician. He's got an amazing band, L. Michaels Affair. This is from Soulfire Records and is extremely rare. According to a random commenter on Discogs, there are only 50 of these out there, and this basically sounds like a funk band jamming with a homeless guy nearby. They did a remake of this in 2013 that came out on Truth and Soul Records, also founded by Leon Michaels. So it's out there. You can get this. You can definitely stream it as well. So you should check that out if you can. Last but not last in all of the 45s I have, we just don't have too many to go through. This is the Soul Saints Orchestra. This is just awesome. It's got Santa's Got a Bag of Soul from the Jazzman label. This is a variation of the Poets of Rhythm, who are one of the most influential groups in my vinyl collection. You can watch a video of them right here. This is an awesome James Brown style groover that's definitely fantastic for Christmas parties. Definitely check this one out. Now this last one, I'm a little bummed that I can't show the actual piece of vinyl at the moment, but I am at least super thankful that I was able to get it. A Philly Special Christmas. This one is awesome because 1, it's cool, 2, go Birds, 3, it's new, and 4, go Birds. Seriously, I'm a huge Eagles fan. I've been a lifelong fan of all the Philly sports teams. I even got the amazing chance to be on the Phillies championship parade float and got my picture in Sports Illustrated because of it, which is just phenomenal. So when I heard that the offensive linemen of the Eagles were making a holiday album, I was an idiot for not realizing they would also put out a limited edition green vinyl to go with it. And they did. And I missed it. And now it's on Discogs for over $600. But thankfully they did a repress, and then they did another repress, and I was able to get in on the last one.
It's a Festivus Miracle!
And now I will have this special album. First off, this is really cool, and all of the proceeds of the first-hand sales of these, which I am one of the first-hand sales people because I bought it directly, will go to Philly children's charities, which is very cool. This is rare. You don't get something like this often. This group of players on here are really cool. Jordan Mailata was actually on The Masked Singer, and he's actually a really good singer. Jason Kelsey is like the ultimate hype machine, and that guy that you know sings drunk at every party that you go to. So this was great to have. I'm getting my copy in February, but the proceeds again went to charity, and that makes me feel great that buying vinyl goes to something better than just me having more vinyl. You can listen to this online right now as well. Definitely go check it out. And go Birds, Dallas sucks. As I did mention, a lot of holiday vinyl goes on sale in January, so if you missed out on any of these coming out in December, just go get some for next year. I picked up that Duke Pearson back in June for this video, and I'm really glad that I did. Like I said, it was only $15 when I got it. Also, let me know, do you listen to holiday vinyl at other times of the year? I think it's funny with both photo, video stuff, and music. Once Christmas is done for me, it's like a complete violation to give me a Christmas video in January or whatever. It's like getting rid of that Christmas tree. It just gets dumped like a body on the side of the road.
Is there a tree?
No, instead there's a pole. Requires no decoration. I find tinsel distracting.
These are some awesome holiday jams though. I tried to get a reggae Christmas record on the list here, but I couldn't get my hands on one. I do have an awesome reggae Christmas compilation on digital, but no reggae vinyl just yet for Christmas. So stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll have some for next year. You will enjoy listening to this playlist, I promise. If you do like anything on here, please let me know in a comment below. And if you are a Dallas fan, why? Seriously, why? Why? Okay, I've said enough. I'm gonna go listen to some funky Christmas tunes. I will see you guys on the next one. Go Birds.